Good morning, YouTube friends. Well, according to my daily schedule, oh boy, let me get my glasses on. Maybe that's why I don't know what I'm supposed to do every day, is because I don't look at it with my glasses on. Okay, today is Wednesday. This morning I'm supposed to be painting, but I'm not. It's 8:30, so I still have time. Yesterday I was supposed to do mulch, but I didn't. I wrote a first chapter on a story. Yesterday afternoon I was supposed to do roll lags and spin. I didn't do any of that. I took a bath and rested. Okay, so this morning, what I really want to do, I've been cleaning up my house too and rearranging furniture. That's a long story. But I'm done doing that. And I want to talk a little bit about candles. I had a desperate longing to buy a really lovely candle from a friend and realized I just couldn't afford it. They were very, very, very nice candles, but too expensive for me. And so, but they were made with pure beeswax and essential oils and in a piece of pottery that was just cute. And I thought, I've got beautiful beeswax, beautiful golden beeswax that I use in my products that I make, which I think I'm going to stop making soon. And I have a drawer full of essential oils. And I have candles, empty candle containers like this one. Oh, I've talked with you about this before. And then I have cotton twine. Now, I know this may not be as fine as some of the candles out there, but I think it would probably do for my purposes, but I want to start small to make sure that I can actually do this. And often on my little experiments, this is what I do. I do one, it's not great, and I don't ever do another one, and that's fine. But I love candles, and it would be so fun to have really nice candles without going to that expense or having to buy cheap candles that are okay but not great. Like this one. This is a Mainstays Walmart brand evergreen spruce, and they call the smell of a candle a throw. So the cold throw of this candle is very nice. If you smell it when it's cold, it's very nice. So you go in the store, you're like, oh, I love that scent. You take it home and you light it, and you discover that you're not really smelling it in the room. You're not smelling it in your house, and that's called the hot throw. And there's various reasons for why some of them don't work well, but it can have to do with, I think, the type of wax or the type of oils, fragrance oils, essential oils, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, in order to secure my wick to the base of what I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this, okay? This is a piece of pottery that a very lovely friend of mine made and gave to me, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And it's supposed to be kind of an Old Testament, Jewish, Middle Eastern candle where you put oil in it, and I think the wick comes out here. I don't know. So it is designed, the design is for candles, but I'm going to melt this in a double boiler and make sure it's not too hot, and then choose some essential oils to add. I don't know which ones yet. That will be interesting to figure out. That could be a terrible mistake, but we'll see. I want to pick ones that don't burn off when they're hot. I think a lot of citrus ones do that. Anyway, the other thing I just did, this is why I wanted to record this, to see if this works. I didn't know what to use to secure the cotton twine, the wick, to the base of the candle container. And then I remembered that I have a bag of tea lights, okay? And this is one, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I spared you that. Tis the sneezing time of year when there's allergens and there's molding leaves and it's chilly. Anyway, so I took this tea light. This is the bottom of the tea light. I cut off the rim that goes around the outside edge. Okay, it was so easy. I did it with a pair of old scissors. These are, where are they? These are my junky scissors that I cut everything with and don't care if I mess up. They're like my sewing scissors from 15 years ago. I have a hierarchy of scissors. Do any of y'all have that? I have the Empress of scissors. These are my sewing scissors. They cut nothing but thread and fabric. And then I have the recently demoted pair of scissors. Where did they go? Are they back in here? No. Well, I had them recently. I don't know what, they're blue handled. And I use them for cutting, yarn, and I put them in my yarn bag, and I travel with them in case, and see, I've lost them recently, and they'll show back up, so I don't take as good a care of them as I should. They're freewheeling and enjoying life. And then I have a lot of little scissors like this. These are not very sharp. I just keep them for cutting yarn when I'm spinning. And this is what I would cut paper with, and metal. Yeah. Okay, that was a little aside. Anyway, so I am going to secure a little short wick of this to the bottom, probably with a little bit of glue. I could punch a hole in this and slip it through. I'm going to secure, oh phooey. I'm going to secure this to the base of this just with some hot wax, okay? That's really an idea, because I don't think I want any glue in there. I would rather just have wax. I'd like it to be as pure as possible. And then, I didn't get one yet, but I saw somebody, in order to keep the wick straight up, they took a clothespin and laid it over the top. And I'm hoping that this is not so wide that the clothespin won't fit. I think a nice big clothespin will fit there. And they put the wick in the clothespin, clamp it, and then lay it on top, and that holds it until the wax cools, which shouldn't take too long. So I'm gonna go do this. I'll paint later. I'll let you know. Okay, I'm here in the kitchen. I'm melting my beeswax. That's going rather fast. I got a clothespin to put across the top of this, and you see it's just not quite long enough, or I could put it down here, but that's not really in the middle. I want it back here. So I decided to take 2 clothespins, and that makes it longer, and now it will rest where I want it to, okay? And I can still squeeze the wick in one of these little squeezy spots here, okay? Now, I did go pick out some essential oils. This is a small candle. If I regret it, it's okay. I read on one online site, which we know how much that's worth, that it takes a lot of essential oil in just a small candle, which may be one of the reasons why these candles are expensive. She said 2 teaspoons of essential oil, which is outrageous, in a 4-ounce candle, which is a 1/2 cup candle. And that may be what that candle is. I don't know if I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in, but, and I think that we've probably got enough of this oil. So I'm going to turn this off. I want to let my beeswax cool down. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Okay, I thought I probably wanted clove. I love clove. I love clove mixed with a citrus. And so I went and looked at some of the oils that I don't use much for my soap and I wouldn't mind spending a lot of. This is a bergamot. Bergamot, I think, is the scent or the taste or whatever you want to call it, that's in Earl Grey tea. It is it's citrusy, so I'm going to put it in there, not too much, and then just the teeniest little bit of cedar wood to give it a real woodsy scent. Okay, I've got to get this beeswax out of here before I deeply regret it. I don't think I can pick that up with my hand. Oh. I don't know. I think we could use some more. Once you take that out of there, it actually looks to be less wax than you think. Now, after I'm used to cleaning out this double boiler after using it with wax and oils and stuff in it for making soaps and lotions, well, for making lotions. And but since this is just pure wax and nothing else, after I have the amount of wax I want for this candle, then I'm going to put this double boiler in the freezer to really harden that wax, and then any residual wax in there will come popping out easily. I'll put it back in my beeswax bag and use it later. Okay. I'm quite excited about this. This is pretty cool. I am going to let this wax cool down as cool as possible When it starts to harden, then I'm going to add real quickly, add the essential oils. I want the wax as cool as possible so that it doesn't burn off those essential oils. I've never used this little grabber thing before. I think I'm going to do a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off and bring you guys back when this wax is ready. Now the nice thing about beeswax is as soon as you lift it out of the double boiler, it starts to harden immediately and get this nice kind of dry film on the outside. And I can reach over here and I can even touch it, it's not that hot, and put it on that bag. So that's really nice. Okay. Now I'm going to take this off of here and let it cool down. I really don't think I'm going to have to let it cool down for very long because as you saw, when I took that wax out of there, the block of wax, it hardened immediately. These tongs got hard wax on them immediately. So I don't think this wax is very hot. I think it's just barely melted. Okay, I am going to go ahead and pour it in there and add the essential oils afterward so that I keep the wax, that if in case I have too much, I want to make sure. Oh, let me show you what I've done here so you can get a close-up look. Okay, can you see all that? There's my 2 clothespins. You see the little piece in the bottom. I just dipped that in the wax in the double boiler for a second to get some wax on the bottom of it, and it has stuck to the bottom of that that piece of pottery really well. Okay. Now I'd better hurry before this starts to harden too much. I don't think this is going to be a very, well, that might work. Yeah, not bad. Okay, I got to add this oil before it's too late. Now, just the teeniest bit of cedar wood. And then I'm going to get a little stick kind of affair and stir this really well. A good bit of clove. These have little kind of dropper things in the top. I'm going to have to put a good bit of clove in here. Trying to avoid sprinkling it on the clothespins. Remembering that I want probably at least a teaspoon. And even if these essential oils don't do anything, if it just smells like beeswax, it'll be wonderful. Now this one doesn't have a little dropper thing. It has a open top. That's really very nice. I think combined with the others, that'll be lovely. I don't like bergamot. For some reason, I didn't like it in my soaps. I'm going to add some more clove. I love clove combined with lemongrass. Oh my goodness, that's a nice scent. Okay, so let me go get a little stirring stick. This is a little skewer that you use for grilling vegetables. And I'm going to stir this really, really well. And feel free still to move this. I don't want to touch the wick inside of there, but I feel free to move the clothespins a little bit. It's already hardening on the outside of the piece of pottery. Let me bring you in again so you can see what's going on. Okay. Just going to stir this carefully so as not to disturb. See where the wick's going down. And it's still secured to the bottom. And I don't really, this is only for my personal use. I would never sell this because I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't really mind where the wick comes up, as long as it's not too close to the edge. You don't want it burning the pottery. Okay, I think that must be enough stirring. Let's smell this. Ooh. Oh. The combination of the clove and the citrus. Okay, you know how at Christmas you get an orange and you stick cloves into it, and that's a really lovely smell. That's what I'm talking about. It's clove with any kind of citrus, whether it's lemon, orange, lemongrass, and then this is bergamot. So, oh, this is really nice. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to let that harden up, and we'll come back and look at it. And I'll trim the wick. Wow. I can't believe how easy that was. Isn't this a cool looking candle? Maybe when we get done, I'll burn it and we'll see what we think. Maybe this is one of those rare success stories in my crafting life. While that candle is cooling, and I put it on the back porch, and it's like, I don't know, in the 50s outside today, so which is lovely. I'm so excited about the cold weather. So it'll be hard in no time at all. I wanted to show you this. This is another piece of pottery that I adore, that my friend gave me who moved away, and she just had so much pottery, and it was just gorgeous. Anyway, I do have a candle in here right now. Actually, oh, that came right out of there. This is an old dead scentless candle. It does have a little base though. See, I'm wondering if I can use that base. Punching a hole in that other little metal base was so easy. I just used, this is those little pliers, needle-nose pliers you can use to do jewelry, or your husband might have a pair for doing work around the house. And I just used that little tip end, and because those little metal things are flimsy, it went straight through. It was easier than punching it through paper. So, you know, part of being able to do stuff like this is just having all the junk sitting around your house, which we do, I'm sad to say, but it does make doing projects a little easier. Anyway, so if this candle works, if I like it, you know, if I think I want to do another one, I want to do one in here. Now, I do have, this one has now burned out. And this one has burned out, and I have two more that are just about to burn out. And so, and I have a whole box of beeswax for making soaps and lotions. It's either a pound or 2 pounds, so it's quite a bit. That I was amazed at the fact that when I was eyeballing how much wax I needed in that candle that's cooling right now, I was right on the money. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea. Okay, it's time for me to paint. So after I painted a few cards this morning, I have a bazaar coming up next weekend, in a week and a half, that I have to have lots of cards ready for. So I got to get moving and figure out what I want to paint for that. All right, be back. All right, a few little takeaways from this. You see it's got a big crack right here, which I don't think matters a lot. It's just a little unsightly. Again, if you were selling candles, that would be something to seriously avoid. And I think that's probably from cooling it too fast and putting it outside. Matter of fact, I think I've heard of people deliberately cooling their candles very slowly, like in a really warm spot. Anyway, but the first time that I do light it, I'm going to melt it all the way to the rim. That's important in a candle. If you don't let the liquid go all the way to the edge, it will never go that far again. If you're using not a pillar candle, but a container candle. So I like the look of that. Now, somebody online, I think, said it's important to let a candle cure for 3 or 4 days before you light it up. So I'm going to do that. Oh, and I wanted to mention about the wick. I read on one page this girl had soaked some of her wicks in salt water, then dried them so they were full of salt, and other ones in oil, and other ones in nothing, all cotton, 100% cotton, like this one. And The one she did in salt, of course, the salt made it stand up, so you didn't have to have anything to secure it on top. But it burned a different color, and she wasn't as satisfied with it. I don't quite remember why, but that she said, that's not a good idea. The one that was soaked in oil was fine, but it did just as well as the one that she did nothing to. So that's what I've opted for here. I'll trim this wick again when I light it, but I just cut it a little shorter now. All right, what do you think? Isn't that great? I'm kind of excited. I might delay posting this video until I have a photo of it melting and lit. We'll see. I don't know if I can wait that long. This was kind of fun. Please leave a comment below if you'd like to. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this channel, I'd love it if you would subscribe so I can see you here again. If you liked this particular video, then please click the thumbs up button, which tells me that you really like this particular content. There's also a little bell down there that will help you get notifications every time a new video comes out on my channel. Thank you.